Can you hear this through the mic?
Yeah.
How loud? Is it very loud? Is it bothering you? How about now? How about now? It'll be okay.
Mr. Scott Quinney.
Hello.
I love you, man.
I love you more.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I think I hit the mic.
Oh, fuck. You're fucking it up. My man.
Hello, my friend.
I'm not going to put on the voice. I'm just going to be like the soft-spoken one today. I'm going to let you be the voice.
No.
You're going to take control.
Probably stop doing this.
Why?
Well, okay. For those of you who at home who can't see this, I'm currently working on the machine frame for Henning Jorgensen. Which is kind of fun. It's kind of like an honor.
Mm-hmm.
Brian asked me to build this machine for Henning, and it's been a topic of most prolific tattooers alive, and definitely Henning is on there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a huge honor to be doing this. Plus, it's really fun. This is getting me like back into machine building.
But how long have you been making machines for?
Not very long.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have like the first ones.
Yeah.
Which was maybe 4 years ago?
Yeah, it's only been that long. If I knew it was your first machine, I probably wouldn't have bought them.
Yeah.
But I think you talked me into it.
Yeah, I must have. I'm a smooth talker. You know the saying, sell ice to an Eskimo? Oh, Jesus, I hope this is still PC. Sorry, folks at home, wherever you may be.
Uh-huh. Nobody listens to this, don't worry.
No, I don't even listen to them. You can't. I'm the worst.
That's the best.
We're gonna edit that one out.
No, we're not. Keep it in.
Cool. Eat your heart out, Joe Rogan. Are you yelling at me still? Luana's like the producer out of the scenes.
Uh-huh.
I'm getting yelled at. So I'll put it down. Sorry, Mr. Jorgensen. It's the cable. Oh, my hands are moving. That's what it is. I seen it now. Okay, so I can keep doing it or no?
Keep doing it, but just don't hit everything in your way.
Well, it's like, I mean, she jammed this microphone down my gullet. It's like, I swear to God, I'm half choking on it right now as I'm saying these words.
But we probably should have set up in like the living room or anything like that.
Yeah,
because now we're in the
we're in the
studio.
cellar.
Yeah, but it's better off. I like the ambiance because this is like where the work happens.
Yeah, it's like rustic and fiberglass ridden.
Yeah, just like a cellar.
Yeah,
Any
it's a
old
cellar. It's a root cellar. Jimmy, grab some milk for your tea out of the icebox. Yeah, Jesus, let's not start throwing these things at you.
They were like, yeah, it's going well until I couldn't understand a word these guys were saying. See, when I hang out with you, my Boston accent will start to come out.
Oh, this is going to be great.
So we should just do the whole podcast with a Boston accent.
Oh, that's right. We're doing a podcast. We have been literally talking about absolute nothing for several minutes and doing it quite well.
But we went to lunch earlier and nothing much has changed.
No. No. And I have enjoyed every single moment.
Mm-hmm.
I really have. It's just so natural.
Yeah. But it's good hanging out with you. I like nerding out with you, talking about machines.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of those things I always wanted to kind of do myself, but it's just another thing to do, you know?
Oh, my God. It really is.
How much time does it take out of your life to build machines?
It's an awful lot.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. And it's one of those things where it's building machines as well as being full-time tattooer, full-time father, husband, trying to be a good son. Like, you're trying to do all these things,
Mm-hmm.
My children are 5 and 7. I want to be present for them.
Yeah.
Growing up, I want them to remember the moments with Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
It can definitely take time from when I come home. If I'm doing work down here in the shop for machines, then I'm definitely not drawing or painting.
Mm-hmm.
So something's sacrificed too.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bummer.
I feel that way is life in general.
Yeah.
The things that we enjoy doing, you can't have it all at once unless you're very good at planning. And
Seriously.
I always find the things that I enjoy, I always have to sacrifice one or two things in order to do that one thing. And it's just a constant balance.
Constant balance.
But why wouldn't you get your kids down here and get them on the power tools? And
oh, they do all the time.
Yeah.
I really do get them down here. My girls are involved in everything I make. They really are. They just, because sometimes it'll just be me watching them, no one else around. So it's like, all right, get your shoes on, girls. We're going down the cellar. You know, and I have some stuff down here, you know, like the horse over there with the springs in the corners where you bounce and like rip all the leg hairs out of your body. You know, if anyone remembers those things. So I got one of those and they love it. You know, and they put the sparkle tape on literally everything down here. So I got
like
all
the coil tape. For
yeah,
the machine.
yeah. Screwdrivers and hammers are really shiny with glitter tape. Yeah. I love it though. It's so sweet.
And let me guess, you're from the New England area.
Yes, that would be correct.
Stop hitting the fucking wire.
Sorry. I really am just gonna let that chill for a minute. Maybe he just won't get a finish on a frame.
Damn.
He might just depending on time.
I think we're gonna have to cut that one out. And I think you're gonna have to rethink what you just said.
Let's see, most influential people of our time. Yeah, I should probably give it my all.
But he won't hear. He probably won't hear this for a couple weeks. We're taking some time off the podcast for the holiday season.
Oh, either that or he'll never listen to it.
Yeah, I don't know.
You think so?
He posted something the other day, and I was very proud. I was like, oh, he's listening to it.
That's awesome.
But I always joke about it. Yeah, this is going nowhere. But for me, it's just fucking fun.
It seems really fun. You know, like I'll be honest, I haven't had the time to dedicate to listen to every single one. I will maybe at some point.
You're not my friend.
Oh, man. No, we're so much more than that. I'm proud of you for doing this. I think it's so amazing, you know, and where you've gone. Man, I don't want to talk about me. I know about me. Let's talk about you. I'm going to turn this around on. This is Brian MacNeil, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, he's one of the best people I've ever met in tattooing, but also just in general. He's a very genuine man. So to see him just work so hard and then get to where he's at now with Henning at Royal and still just continuing to push himself with this podcast. You know, you don't have to do this, but this is something that
it's fun.
This is a labor of love. Exactly.
I don't think I traditionally do well talking to people, just going up and saying like, hey, how you doing? And let's be friends now.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward. Anyways,
yeah, it's super awkward, but it's definitely a good way to kind of do that without being too awkward about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I just like good people and people who have the same interest in me. And in a way, if I can get to sit down with somebody and talk about what they enjoy doing, I always get inspired. When we first met, it was in Boston. You were working there.
Yeah.
But where in New England were you from originally? I don't think I even know that.
No one does.
Mm-mm.
I really don't talk about it much. We moved around so much.
Mm-hmm.
We started out in the city, and then we left the city,
mm-hmm.
and then we were not in the city. But, you know, we were always in Mass, but, you know, whether it was around parts of Boston and Medford and Somerville and even what we had said before, well, that was with my wife. You know, we lived in Cambridge for a number of years, and then more North Shore from the city, we went up to another city of, you know, Lawrence, Methuen, and Haverhill. Mm-hmm. And that's for the most part, like, where I went to high school and everything.
Yeah, mostly like kind of, for people who don't know, it's like northern parts of Boston.
Exactly. They call it like North Shore, you know, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
But were you into tattooing before it was legalized here in Boston?
Absolutely. Yeah, that started. I was like, so I started working on motorcycles at a shop when I was 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in the service area turning a wrench, and all these guys coming in, and I see the tattoos, and I'm just like, I love the whole lifestyle. I loved everything about it. I have always loved danger. Mm-hmm. Always been completely defiant. So any rules, I don't want to listen to it.
Yeah, like stop fucking with that wire.
I know. Exactly. But if it was dangerous or the potential for death was there, I was like all about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still that way. Not as much because I'm a father and I genuinely want to be alive to see my girls grow up. But I still love danger. Good God, is it fun?
Mm-hmm. I definitely like making dumb decisions when I was younger.
Oh, yeah.
But now I avoid them like the plague.
Yeah, I mean, I for the most part, I don't make as many.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say that. I'm definitely not as reckless, and I pick and choose when I break that out. Yeah.
It's like a controlled kind of chaos.
Exactly.
Going on.
Yeah.
But it makes sense with
you
the
gotta
kids.
reel it. Yeah.
You need to be around.
Exactly. And I would like to have most of my appendages by the time I get to walk them down the aisle, if that's even in their interest. But yeah. I don't mind if I might lose a couple, fingers, but As long as I have most of the limbs,
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll be okay. That'll be a success.
You've been working in the motorcycle shop.
Yep, I was doing that,
Mhm.
and that's where like guys would come in covered in tattoos, and I loved it. I knew I was gonna be covered. It wasn't even that I wanted a tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm gonna be fucking covered. That's so rad. That's all I wanted. So eventually, that's what I did. 14 to 24 was motorcycles. At 16, my best friend got an apprenticeship in Salem, New Hampshire. Still not legal in Mass.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was 18. He was 2 years older than I was. You know, when he got that apprenticeship in the shop, I just started hanging out every single day, and I never left for 3 years.
Did you know you were going to try to get to be a tattooer? Or
Yeah.
you just wanted to get tattoos?
Both.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to get tattooed, and I was. I wanted to do tattoos. I wanted to be a tattooer. I just felt like I had to earn the respect that they wanted to teach me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's after 3 years, they needed someone to do body piercing. So I started out doing that, and that really got my foot in the door.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to tell a lot of people that, you know?
You're telling a lot of people now.
Yeah.
You're telling like 15 people.
Man, at least. Maybe 16.
16.
There's that guy up in Reykjavik you might tune in. Oh, I got to watch that. I have no idea what I'm talking about right now.
You
All I can think
earned the
about is
respect. You
Iceland.
started doing piercing.
Oh, that's where we were. That's right. Yeah.
I'm glad I'm paying attention.
I know. So the piercing, I did that for like 4.5 years, almost 5 years. And I didn't want to do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I loved being in the shop.
Yeah.
Like, good God, that was like the greatest thing in the world. But I just really didn't like body piercing. And I truly felt that this field is so amazing. It's so incredible that I'm taking this amazing job away from somebody who really wants to do it. So I got to leave this.
Mm-hmm.
And I did. I know I put in my notice, and they were totally cool because I was leaving and moving to Chicago to go back to school for automotive.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, there's got to be more money in cars. And I was wrong.
Really?
But I went back. I did it. I went to school, factory trained by Ford Motor Company. And I came back and I was working for Clark and White Lincoln Mercury down in Newton, Mass, which is no longer there, unfortunately. And that's why I say there wasn't enough money. It was, you know, Mercury's now a defunct brand. You know, it was just not enough repair work for for my brand that I had focused in.
Right.
The man who taught me to tattoo, Walter.
What's his last name?
Nidzwicki.
Nizwicki.
Yeah.
Where was he?
Southie. He's from Southie, and I worked with him initially at that shop where I started doing piercing in New Hampshire,
Mm-hmm.
and he had by this time opened his own place in Mass in Framingham.
Okay.
You know, I'm working down in Newton. I shoot down the street every day, say hello to Walter, hang out with him at the shop. I do this for like a few weeks, and then he just looks at me and goes, Quinney, why don't you fucking tattoo, you dummy? And I was like, Jesus. I was like, all right, you'll teach me? He's like, yeah. And he proceeded to not teach me a damn thing. Yeah.
How much cleaning did you do?
Not any.
No.
I did nothing. I didn't have an apprenticeship. I was tattooing like 19 days later.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not good. You know? It was like, he's like, I put you in a room and you figured it out and look at you. You know, he was so proud of that. He's like, literally, I was put in a room. I was there for like a couple weeks. He went away for a week to Bike Week, and I tattooed in his booth, in his room, in his shop.
Wow.
And that was like, okay, I am now a tattooer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You didn't know enough to know how bad. Things were.
I didn't know enough to know that I had no idea what to do. Like, I didn't even know how to, you know, when you set up a machine and everything, and then you set up your room for how you're going to tattoo. I didn't know any of that. None of it.
Pointy end down?
Yeah, I knew the shop end goes into the person, you know. I mean, I had made a bunch of needles for the guys. I had done that. I was actually back when you couldn't buy pre-made needles, or when you could, they were like $5 a piece.
Yeah.
The guys were all paying me $1 a needle.
Yeah, I remember that they would come in cased in wax. They weren't even
sterilized. No. Yeah. Were they carbon needles? Were you getting carbon ones?
Well, yeah, I was making my own carbon needles at the time, and then you had to put them in Vaseline.
The Vaseline or glycerin, I heard too,
so that
right?
they wouldn't rust.
Yeah. Yeah, you just solder them up and stick them in. Like, here we go, man. Good for later.
Gross.
Yeah. So yeah, that was how I got into tattooing. Not the traditional way. I suppose I never came from an artist background.
Mm-hmm.
I did draw a lot, yeah, but at that point I wasn't. is pretty much, I was just a biker grease monkey
Yeah.
who kind of fell into it.
But I think that background is definitely helpful for what you're doing with the
For
machine.
what I'm doing here, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, all that, a decade of fabricating experience, turning a wrench and building bikes and stuff at that shop. All this stuff is just really natural.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense to me. I just understand it.
But I would imagine working with cars is much more intensive than the machines. Like, it's a pretty simple apparatus that
Correct.
we're working with.
Yeah.
But with the cars, like they have to run and not explode on the road. And
Yeah, they got to stop. They got to like get you places and like not lose wheels.
That's a big thing.
Yeah. But it's fun. It's fun. I like taking them and making them go faster.
Yeah. The cars.
Oh, well, yeah, whatever.
Mhm.
Anything.
You still mess with your own personal car now?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Well, it's, it's a Dodge,
Mm.
and a lot of things go wrong on it, like every bit of suspension components. So,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I'll do it all myself. It's a lot of work, but I can, so I do. Sometimes I shouldn't. This last winter, I replaced all the bushings in the rear subframe and an axle and everything, which is a big job. So to do it on my back in my garage by myself, using skateboards for everything. Yeah. This is all photo documented as well.
You need to send us these pictures.
But yeah, I mean, it was down for like 2 weeks. So it ended up being the amount of time that it took me cost me more money than it would have to have someone else do it.
Oh, man. See, I was thinking, I'm not very useful in general, other than just making art.
Friends.
Yeah. But I was always thinking like, that would be an awesome skill, because then you could just fix your own damn car if need be. But
yeah, but then you don't
want in
want
all cases. You're like, this money's not as important as my free time.
Yeah, exactly. That's really it. Yeah. So yes, building machines, those take time away from my life.
Yeah.
But I love it.
How organized are you? Like, are you somebody that can actually say, okay.
You know the answer to this question.
Can you say like, okay, these 4 hours.
I'll just let you answer it.
I'll let everybody know. It took us about 2 hours to get to lunch.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right. But we ate lunch pretty quick, and now we're here.
And we're back here.
It's very irrelevant.
Well, we were talking to my wife. And
yeah.
It's, it was, this is less of like an interview rather than just kind of like catching up.
No, it's never an interview. That's the one thing I
No.
never liked about some podcasts, is that they just question and answer type of thing.
Yeah.
Fuck this teeth. Talk about real shit.
That fucking Tadzookas, bro.
Yeah. What's the annoying things in life about tattooing? No, I'm joking.
Oh my God.
Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. Too many other people do that for us. We don't have to. Let's talk positively.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of negative.
It's funny, through doing this podcast, I've gotten a lot of good, positive points of view from other artists. We have a lot of good questions and answers after the podcast. Like, there's before and after the podcast.
Yeah, the mic goes off and all the good stuff happens.
Yeah. That's how it is. Not that the other ones are bad.
No, just this one.
Boston, you done with Boston?
Not that I'm done with it. It's just, I'm currently in Dover, New Hampshire at Hidden History.
Yeah.
And I really love that shop. It's like the first shop that I had felt like at home at.
Mm-hmm.
And in a place that I had like always, as a tattooer, you always want to attain like that kind of shop. At least for me, that was where I wanted to be. And now I'm there. And the guys that I work with, I really do love them all. Like, genuinely care about those dudes. And I'm grateful to be allowed to work there. I never rule anything out, but it's like, I fly by the seat of my pants too.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'm where I'm at in Dover, and I don't really have any plans for the future.
Yeah,
you can make plans, you just can't always plan the outcome.
Yeah,
essentially.
That's normal. But it sounds to me, from what we were talking about earlier, you're always trying to like make what you have better. Work with what you're doing at the moment. We were talking about your tattoos, and you were saying like,
totally, yeah. So yes, with getting
stuff.
Getting into that, we'll get that back on track. Whereas, with building machines, my drawing sacrifices, and that's where I noticed that, and I had to kind of take a step back from building as many machines and try and realign my focus with tattooing, and that's just as of late, because I was growing unhappy with my own creation in that, and getting burnt out of tattoo machines for just one reason or another. It just wasn't as fun as it once was. And I'm the type of person that I'll stop doing something that isn't fun.
Right.
So, and that's where I had stopped for a while. still doing stuff that like the orders that I have, but not taking on anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So this little thing for Henning has been like a really, really fun machine for me to build and get back into it. Because I do love it. Been in a bad place, I think, mentally for a little bit. And I love machines. It's reminded me of when I build them, like all that experience with motorcycles. Like I think back and forward throughout that whole circuit of a machine. And I break down each and every aspect of it. And that's why it'll be good. Because I know everything about it. I know what I'm drawing for amperage. I know what I'm going to be running through it for current. You know, the resistance of everything is mated. Everything's temperature rated and far beyond what it would ever possibly need.
Mm-hmm.
But just to make it what I think would be good.
Yeah. But that's the fun thing about kind of nerding out about those things.
Totally nerding out. Tricks, man.
The only thing I can kind of draw a similarity to would just making art commercially, where we're expected to produce a certain amount for a certain thing, like an art show. That's when the fun of painting or drawing gets kind of sucked out of it. I wonder if it's the same thing. You're just too fucking popular right now, and with that.
It's not even really that. It's just like going back to like, are you organized? It's like, I am absolutely not. Good Lord, I'm really not.
You're a fucking mad scientist.
Yeah.
And
my head is everywhere and anywhere at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I say, like, when I met Carson Vester, I was like, oh my God, this is my spirit animal. I was like, we are the same man.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's fun.
What was it like going down there?
It was wild.
He's
Again,
based in Texas?
He is in Houston, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
He is down on Piedmont. And we became friends through social media, through Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he posted a picture of this old Dodge pickup. It had like a Evil Knievel lunchbox in the front. And people were like, oh yeah, evil lunchbox, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yo, there's some like RD motors in the background there, which is like the RD motor. It's RD Suzuki 350 motor. It's 2-stroke, air-cooled, little just like fun, super rad motorcycle motor.
Mm-hmm.
And there was 3 of them in the back of that truck, you know, all over its side and everything. But like I said, I did motorcycles for so many years. I know all this shit.
Right.
I commented on those, and that totally piqued his interest. He's like, yo, who are you?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I got his number, and we just started like texting and talking and shit. And we really hit it off. We found out we had a lot in common. Our backgrounds, how we grew up, our family background, the mechanical aspect of things, tattoo aspect of things. And then he would like ask me little questions, which I'm pretty sure were like tests, you know, to see like, I think just try and figure me out. He would ask me, hey, what do you think about this? Like with these guys building, you know, low resistance machines.
Mm-hmm.
I would shoot back an answer. Be like, well, if you're talking about low resistance coils.
Damn it.
Or if you're talking about low resistance coils, well, that's, you know, blah, 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 blah. I'd spit out a whole thing like this and why, and I'd break down different aspects as to what brought me to that conclusion. I think it let him know that how serious I was, and I wasn't trying to. I was just talking to him, just how you and I would be talking now.
Yeah,
it's like I could get into technical jargon with shit, but it's like, why bother?
Yeah.
When he asked me that stuff, it was pretty sure he was testing me.
You should ask him.
And yeah, dude, he fucking flew me down there. He's like, yo, man, you got kids and stuff. So yeah, he got me all down there, and we met up, and it was cool. I'm walking out of the airport. I'm like nervous and shit because I'm down in Houston, Texas. I've never been there. I mean, it's hotter than hell.
Yeah.
It is muggy. It's gross. I'm ripping butts just because I don't know what to do. I've been cooped up in an airport for hours on end because I had like a connected flight, and then he just comes cruising down. Yeah, I don't know if it was like a 81 K5 or something like that. K5 Blazer, 383 stroker motor in this thing. Like I could hear it, and later on he told me, but it just real lumpy. And I'm like, I love this guy. Love it. And I'm talking about the motor being lumpy. It was like, blah, 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 blah. It was cool. He's like, hey, what's up, man? And I was like, what's up, dude? You know, shook hands and jumped in. It was like, we knew each other. We already knew each other. That was it.
Yeah. It's so cool how, I mean, you can just connect over something so nerdy. But yeah. I find that's the same thing between like other artists. Like if they know a certain artist of some sort of obscure thing, okay, I can chill with this guy.
Yeah, it kind of validates. Yeah. It's like, all right, this is not just the average guy.
Mm-hmm.
This guy is a little bit special.
Uh-huh.
There's something about him. He knows something.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually something else I've kind of like struggled with, identifying with the fact that I'm a better machine builder than tattooer. And I don't want to give into it, and it's not even necessarily true, but I'm just spitting out shit. I probably shouldn't even be saying this stuff on a podcast. This is like you and I personal stuff, but I don't even care anymore.
Damn.
I love you.
Shit's getting real.
Real, man. No, but yeah, it's trying to figure out, where the hell do I belong? And just bringing it back. You know, we had talked at lunch about, we should have just had the podcast at lunch.
I was thinking that. I told Luana, when I was speaking Italian to her, I was like, fuck, we just screwed up this whole podcast because we just talked about everything.
I know. Well,
we'll just talk about it again, like we never talked about it.
Yeah.
Do you want me to get you back on track?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
So you're talking about how you felt, which isn't true, that you're a better machine builder than tattooer.
Yeah. Well, I guess it just goes back to realigning my focus, you know, simplifying everything. Mm. I feel like I go through this every so often, every couple of years. And I've been tattooing, 12 years now. And I feel just like maybe I'm stale, maybe I'm stagnant, maybe I need to be re-inspired. But I'm getting there. Guys like you keep me back on track.
I'm gonna ask some Barbara Walters questions now.
Do it.
When you are feeling like you're don't fit or something like that, or is it because you're like looking at other people's work and comparing that work, or is it clients calling you and my shit's fucked? No. It's not like that, right?
No.
No. It's just in your head.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, it's just also like feeling like I'm not doing enough.
Mm.
I know I could be doing more. Mm-hmm. Essentially, is what it is.
You need a fucking calendar and a stopwatch.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
But maybe you don't, because this is the only way that the shit that comes out of you can actually exist.
Exactly.
Is that the way you're doing it now?
Yeah. Well, even talking about it right we are right now, it just helps keep it right at the forefront of my mind and not let it go anywhere.
Yeah. But I think anyone who's obsessed with what we do is always going to feel that level of, I guess, insecurity of like, we're not doing enough, it isn't the right stuff or whatever. And I think the trick is, at least for me, because I mean, if I'm going to talk about my own stuff, I'm in the same boat as you. I don't like a lot of what I do, or immediately I'm picking it apart. But the only way to stay productive, I think, is just to kind of shut that portion off. And by working at it, you just get better that way. And it's not by any huge leaps or bounds, but every so often I'll be like, oh, that fucking issue I had doesn't exist anymore. But then I have 10 other issues in my artwork that I'm like, okay, now I have to focus on those.
Yeah. This reminds me of like I read this on again on social media, but it was Philip Liu. He said, turn negative energy into positive work energy. And I've been trying to like say that to myself every day. I've actually forgot it for about a week, and it just popped into my head right now, just looking at you. That's what I need. I need to keep that focus. I can be really good at like self-deprecating. I got to learn to put the bat down, you know what I mean, and get off the cross, because I'm no martyr, and I got to stop beating myself up.
Yeah, it's not useful energy.
No,
put into. It's not a productive avenue if you want to be creative and free. But I don't know if this is like subjects that many tattoo artists would talk about.
Probably not.
We're too busy being tough.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm done being I don't want to be a tough guy anymore.
I don't want to be tough anymore.
This is probably not often come up in podcasts, but this is different. I remember like coming into this, we didn't want to do like a typical just like interview process. We were just gonna like let it kind of naturally and organically go, and it definitely did.
Yeah.
But
I think it fits your personality, and then
because it's everywhere. My mind is like there is no straight lines. I'm not laid out like a grid, that's for sure.
But for me, I mean, I've talked about this in just obviously with friends of mine. I always try to read something in the morning that inspirational, not like a inspirational quote or anything, but if I'm reading about some person's heroic adventure or some sort of scientific achievement, whatever it is, damn, that fucking dude put a lot of work in to get that result.
Totally.
So when I read stuff like that, okay, how can I transform that thinking? Like it gets me pumped. I don't know if you ever skateboarded as a
Hell yeah,
kid.
I did. Yeah.
You know, when you watch a skateboard video and as soon as it's done and you already in your head, you think you're a better skater.
Automatically, yeah.
But it just kind of supercharges you to do that and get out there and do something better.
Yes. See, I've noticed my own thought process going crazy, trying to get it right back on track. It's getting back on track again.
Back to that machine.
Pretty much. Yeah. Get happy again. I do miss the hell out of you.
Yeah, I miss you too.
Great seeing you today, and I'm very grateful to have you in my life. You're a good person. You've always shot me straight.
I don't know when, but
yeah,
I'm sure I did.
There was like that time back like a while ago.
I think you're just making up shit to make me sound better.
Yeah.
I don't deserve this praise.
Of course you do.
I'm just a fucking friend. Maybe you just had really bad people in your life.
I have.
And then I'm just like the only normal dude.
That's pretty good. It's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
I've been fortunate. I've met a lot of like really good people in tattooing. They're out there if you look. Like Steve Turner was one of the first dudes in tattooing that was like, "Oh man, you want to do a machine trade?" I was like, "Oh man, are you fucking serious? Like, have you seen him? Like, you want to rethink this?" And he gave me that confidence boost and that shot. So I traded with Steve Turner, and from there it went to, I'm sorry, Luana, I'm getting yelled at again. He hooked me up with Matt Quale, another phenomenal and awesome person and machine builder.
Yeah.
I've kind of been fortunate to go on with that through Nick Filth. Like I met Keenan Bouchard, and now Keenan works at Rock of Ages. And the last time I was in Houston, Keenan's now in Austin. Close, he came by, hung out. We had a great time. Keenan, awesome dude.
Yeah.
Good guys. Just like I said, you, good guy. I really only put myself around good people nowadays. Not that I ever really went around other negative dudes, but if they kind of seek me out, because sometimes it just happens, I just remove myself. That's all. Nothing bad. I spent enough time in negativity to know that I just want to be around nice people. I don't need to be a cool guy.
No.
I just want to be a guy.
Yeah.
That's all.
I think you pay a certain price for being the cool guy too. You know, if I'm going to be totally honest, I use other people's machines other than yours.
That's okay.
And Steve Turner is one of them.
Yeah, I know him.
I like his machines a lot.
Yeah.
I actually got to trade painting for a machine at the Rochester show.
That's awesome.
I was stoked that he even wanted to entertain that idea. And I just said, I'll trade you this for it. He's like, yeah, awesome.
I remember you told me about that. And he was stoked too.
Yeah, good. I feel like I made out on the deal. I think he feels the same way.
Yeah, he's stoked.
That I made out on the deal.
Yeah, he's totally stoked. Trust me.
I'll fucking trade more shit with him.
Hey, does this have to be done today?
I don't know.
Did you want it to be?
I mean,
you did, didn't you? I gotta stop hitting that.
I don't want to rush the process.
No, it wouldn't. I just really need to. When you hand rest, you want it to be nice and smooth. I don't like harsh edges. I want that to be really just kind of glidable,
right,
and nimble. When you're doing those big long lines from top of the left shoulder back bottom of the right ankle, you want to be able to have a light, nimble machine to hold that line
from shoulder blade to ankle.
Yeah. Boom.
We can do that line.
Oh my gosh. It will. It won't get hot on you. Maybe.
Tell me about your deepest desires now. You said you're not a deep guy, but we're gonna go real deep.
Okay. Just getting back to, trying to re-spark my inspiration. And recently I got tattooed by, Chris out at Hadley, Chris Marquetto, Greylock Tattoo, folks, good dude. The shop is like, it's real small. It is real awesome. There's such cool flash in there. Some just awesome Ralph Johnstone original flash. Just looking at it. And all these things were just re-inspiring me. And so that's what I got tattooed, had a great time, came back with a fire, started drawing and just painting flash again. So I finished up a sheet. I started another sheet. And I have plenty more to keep going. I don't know when or if I'll ever stop, but it's just it's a groove and a little kind of train I'm riding right now to maintain that inspiration and maintain focus. As you can see, I keep saying focus because I'm so scatterbrained.
Mm.
My mind just automatically dots over there. I'm like a highly caffeinated squirrel. Like I'll go any and every direction in every range of emotions as well.
You need a nap.
I don't ever sleep.
Baby
I
needs
get like
a nap.
5 hours of sleep at night. This is terrible. That's probably why I'm crazy.
I like it.
Anything mechanical automatically brings me back. If I get real worked up, mad, blah, 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 I come down, start working with my hands. Within like 10 to 20 minutes, I'm not even going to remember why I was mad or be like, that was just silly.
Mm-hmm.
Mechanical things are just so natural. It's comforting.
Yeah.
I've been that way since I was a little kid.
Imagine they're comforting because it's almost like a math problem where there is a beginning, middle, end in a way, and it can be calculated to some degree.
Yeah,
where
it's
life
it's really
isn't.
loose though,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I like. I like the fact that there's no definitive answer or reason. Again, being so defiant, I really don't like guidelines.
Motherfucker, you're breaking the rules. If you think what you just said about going to Chris's, what is it, Greylocked? Is the
Yes,
new shop?
Greylock, yeah.
That's nice. Anytime I go to a new shop to get tattooed or do a guest spot, that's when I have like a new fire, like a new inspiration. I definitely recommend doing more stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Because I think we all go through like different funks, not being excited about what we're doing or not really happy about the outcomes of some of the work we're doing, but that's usually the time when it gets better because
I'm totally gonna grow from this.
Nothing really
say that right now.
Nothing really has changed from before to now, but maybe the way you're looking at things will change.
And that's exactly it for me. A lot of it is that mental thought process because I can get through it. I can eventually overcome it, and I will. But it's just like anything. It's just like work. How I constantly work on myself just to be a better person. I have to constantly work on my craft in all aspects, I suppose. Just, everything goes, for me, hand in hand with drawing, painting, and machines, because that's just a natural part of tattooing for me now.
Yeah.
It's pretty much always going to go hand in hand.
But I think, when you're saying you're doing work on yourself, I think as artist and someone that's trying to become a better artist, it almost goes hand in hand, where you have to be honest with where you're at and what you're doing and really honestly look at things. And if you're, other people obviously do it, but people who are just living a day-to-day life, punching a clock and going home, there might not be a real push for that kind of betterment because it's just like, am I doing good enough to not get fired?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to go
They
home.
don't have that personal connection, that love and that passion with what they do. That burning. Like, would I be real upset if I was still turning the wrench? I don't think I would be. But it's because of how much I love what we do. Yeah. I love tattooing. I fucking love it. It's awesome. I want to get back there. Well, I don't know what there is.
Right.
I don't know what it even means in a way. I'm not even necessarily going to figure it out, but I know that it's that journey of chasing that, to get there. Who knows? I don't know. It's exciting to do all these things again. It's almost like exciting in a way, like when you first start tattooing, you're like, this is amazing. Everything is amazing to you. I don't ever expect to get that back. It's just like when you've been in a relationship, like you'll never get that puppy love stage back. You can't. But what happens is you get to a point of true love. That is the point of, like, you are 100% choosing to love the person you're with. So it's like, just as in the sense, if I love tattooing, I'm also choosing to continue to love it and chase it. If this doesn't make sense to anyone else, it does to me. And I need to hear myself say these things.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. Total sense. Because obviously we're past the emotional stage.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's a decision. This whole portion of it is the refinement. And it's not the funnest thing because we're not having like huge revelations anymore. Yeah. But the small revelations that I have, they feel bigger now.
Yeah.
And it's all due how I'm trying to think about it.
Yeah, they're almost more encompassing because it continues to just bring everything together. It's weird how I'll think about things now and be like, whoa, that makes sense why didn't it make sense 6 months ago?
Mm.
And nothing has changed,
Mm-hmm.
only time.
Yeah.
This really is, it's a labor of love, because I love tattooing, and I feel like I hate it too, and it hates me. and then we get along for a little bit, you know, and things are good, and yeah, man, it's like a roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
Goddamn, it's a finicky little woman. People are gonna be like, that dude is nuts, but they're gonna be right.
Uh-huh.
That's the thing.
I liked how you ended it there with the positivity and the love.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to.
If we can ever find you online, and I know you're not really online too much because you got a healthy relationship with social media and stuff.
Yeah, I have a better relationship with my family though.
Yeah.
Woo!
Damn.
But yeah, I'm at Hidden History
Mm-hmm.
in Dover, New Hampshire. I don't know what else you really want to know.
I want to know your Instagram.
Oh, really? That's how this goes?
I don't.
I'm
I
terrible
guess
at this. I
when
apologize.
I listen to other podcasts, this is how it goes, so I just follow that.
I'm not that familiar. So yeah, Hidden History Tattoo, Dover, New Hampshire. Just at Scott Quinney on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
QUINNEY.
When people contact you for machines and stuff like that, do you have an email, or do you prefer to get in touch with you?
Yeah, they can email me, which is QuinneyTattoos@gmail.com. So it's Quinney Tattoos with an S. Always shoot me emails through Instagram, the messenger. Just please be patient, because, I don't always check messages daily. It might take me several days to get back, but I will definitely reply to everyone. It's just, like I said, tricky sometimes with the family. I love building them. I don't come from a point of making money. I come from a point of I love to make these things. Mm-hmm. And that's where it's going to come from. So if anybody wants it, it's there.
It's going to have extra mojo. It's
all the mojo.
Yeah. It's going to sound loud. It's going to hit hard. It's going to make your mama cry.
Yeah. It's just kind of like I equate it to, a motorcycle with no baffles, just open exhaust, just kind of.
Sounds like a fart to me.
Whatever that wants to be to you, baby.
All right, my friend. I love you, and I'm not afraid to admit it.
I love you as well, Brian. And I will admit it openly to anyone.
And we love Luana for being
she's the best.
Patient with us, really disabled people.
Yeah, I think I really tried her patience today. You're the best, hon. Thank you.
You're the best, babe. Thanks.
Thank you, Brian.
Bye. Thank you. Bye. I need a hug.